Yeah. Yeah, let's start it off with this today. Nothing can go wrong when you're wearing this. I actually thought of something really cool to take you guys to go see today. I gotta relook up the address, but I think this one's gonna be quite the exciting adventure for everyone. In fact, it may provoke you to go back to YouTube, which you're on now, and you might want to watch what this was originally from. So Days with Jordan the Lion vlog begins now. I think we're going to go ahead and start things out by taking Jaw to the park. He's got a ton of energy, so we'll go hit our fun spot after that. Well, we're here. Not too many people here. He's eyeballing this dog. He's probably going to go ingratiate himself. There he goes. Go get the ball! No? They're playing, look what you're doing.
Griff will go on top of that table. It's pretty funny.
See if I can get everybody going. Look who's got the ball now.
Not expecting it, then all of a sudden he just like gallops up.
Ready, guys? You coming too? Come on. Did you get it?
Drops it when Griff goes in for it. Griff, don't destroy the ball. Hey.
We have like 10.
He's half mastiff and his jaws are unbelievable how he can just...
Getting ready to go on our adventure, and I wanted to have a little bit of this before I went. What's going on in the background is a little bit of hint of what we're gonna do today. That was our freeway entrance. This is gonna be fun. Aye. Yep, from the time I left, I mapped it. It said it would be 11 minutes. Because of this detour, I've already been in the car for 15 minutes trying to get on the freeway. I got the only parking space on the entire block, which is good because this is not an area that offers too much for parking, and I'd have probably had to walk blocks and blocks, but we're here, and this is a pretty cool spot. You'll kind of be amazed. Not a ton has changed. Now there's a building here. It's on the left that wasn't there in the original. Oh, why am I being so cryptic? This is where we are. Somebody's graffitied up the sign a little bit, but the music box stairs. Well, actually music box steps. And if you don't know what this is, take a look. This, and maybe even a better idea would be to give you an angle from this end. This was from Laurel and Hardy's short music box.
Could you tell me where 1127 Walnut Avenue is? 1127 Walnut Avenue? Yes, sir. That's the house up there, right on top of the stoop. That's the house up there, right on top of the stoop.
This is where they hauled the piano up. And if you don't believe me, there's a little plaque. Tells the story. And maybe if I can shade it up a little bit, you can read it. "1932. It's a long way up. I'm not gonna lie. It's a long way up. Now, when the original was filmed, this gate would not have been here. That would have actually been, each landing would have been, had a walkway up here off to the side that would have entered the apartment building. And this building here was not here. It was just a field. Now they haven't redone these stairs. This is the exact stairs. The first, probably most memorable shot that you'll see from the movie is from right here. This door wouldn't have been here, but it's Stan and Ollie looking down from this step, and you can even see this little there's a divider in the street where this curb is, and there's a tree there. The tree wasn't there, but that curb is the same one. They've painted it into a red zone now, but this was the one. Either this landing or the next one up would have been where the guys would have been pulling the piano up, and they would have encountered the housekeeper with the stroller that wants to get by, and they kind of like finagle and fight their way. So they end up having to go back down and then come back up.
Wait a minute. That's it. Heave! Ho! Heave! Ho! Heave! Ho! Heave! Ho! Heave! Heave! Ho!
Would you gentlemen please let me pass?
Why, certainly, ma'am. Why, just a moment. Just a moment. Maybe I can help you.
Of all the dumb things. And not only that, he kicked me.
He kicked you?
Yes, officer, right in the middle of my daily duties.
Oh, he kicked you, did he?
It's kind of easy to tell that that this is the spot, because if you match it up to where the building ends, which is right here, in the movie you can tell that they would have been right about here when all of a sudden the police officer whistles at them to come down. Stan and Ollie argue about who's going to go down. Stan goes down, and then the police officer says, "No, I want the other monkey." So Ollie ends up going down, and he gets kicked in the butt, literally, by the officer.
Go down and see what he wants.
You go down and see what he wants.
Don't argue with me. Go see what the man wants.
I'm not arguing.
Go ahead.
What do you want?
Go down and see what he wants.
What?
I don't want you. I want that other monkey. Oh! Hey, what do you mean by molesting that girl?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Why, I was just getting...
Now let that be a lesson to you.
Are you going to stand for that?
Say, listen, if he'd have said one more word to me, I would have...
Now let that be another lesson to you.
Say, listen. Don't you think you're bounding over your steps?
What do you mean bounding over my step?
Why, he means overstepping your bounds.
Oh. Now let that be a lesson to you.
Oh!
So it's only a few more flights up, and then nothing was off to this side. When they filmed it, nothing would have been here. It was barren land. Now, one thing that is different, other than all this stuff off to this side, this would not have been here, is that when they get to the top of the stairs, there's a house. Now, movie magic being what it is, the honest truth is, once in the movie they would have landed to these stairs, they would have just done the rest of it on a soundstage. So it's not that the house is removed, the house would have never been here. This neighborhood's pretty old, and when you get to the top, there is a house here, but as you can see, there's actually a street up here. And unless, you know, by some circumstance, they turned this street in, which I don't think they would have, because if you see how narrow it is, it's kind of indicative of the times. They would have had, this probably would have been both directions.
Heat! Ho! 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 Heat! Ho!
Ollie,
What?
I can't make it.
Don't weaken now! We've only got a couple more steps. Now both together! Heat! Ho!
There's another sign for the music box steps. I don't know, a little cool Hollywood history. Somebody even, if you wanted to start up here, has made the arrows to point where you're supposed to go. But yeah, once they got to the top, this is where the guy would have told them that, why'd you come all the way up here? You could have just went around, made a left, and made another left, and you could have come up the back way. But yeah, so I don't know, it's here. It's pretty. So let's go back down. I highly recommend that you go watch the episode. The section that they do in the movie here, I would guesstimate about the first 7 to 9 minutes of the short. The short itself is like 25 minutes altogether. But the rest of it takes place inside the house that they're delivering the piano. But it's called Music Box. You can find it. Hal Roach, I believe, was the director on that one still. before they went on to another Hal Yates. But like I said, none of this stuff over here, none of that would have been here. That would have all just been like an abandoned field. And if you want to match up things with the original, the best way I can tell you is this building off to the left, this white building, was still here. To my knowledge, this is the same building. You can match it up where the end of that building is compared to where they are on here when they end up having to go back down. Now the cool thing is, well, cool to me, you see that there's now a building over here and there's brush and whatever. Back then, that's where they would have set the cameras up. So a lot of their shots would have been right here on these hills. Like that's where the director, that's where the actors, that's where everybody would have stood. And I don't know if that's cool to anybody else, but it's pretty interesting. Now, as you can see, it's like a hobo hangout. There's a chair out here in the middle of the woods and some lighters and some alcohol bottles and marijuana, medical marijuana containers and things like that. But looks like there's even a grill back here. So whoever lives in this building probably uses this as a hangout. But pretty cool. Looks like it's been tagged by gangs too. But like I said, if you go back and you rewatch it, one of the very first shots you see will be from Ollie and Stan's point of view right here. Because you can actually see the first landing of stairs. It would have kind of been like this. Probably elevated up a little bit. And that's where this would have started. You would have seen the shot of Ollie holding on to the piano as it fell down the stairs and him sliding all the way down to the bottom. This is, I mean, that's, nothing has changed. That is so cool. That was 19, what do we say? Well, we're coming up on the plaque here again. What time, what era? I believe the year they said was 1932, I want to say. Was it 1932? Yeah, 1932. So, from way back in 1932, these garage doors were pretty much the same. The one next to it isn't. If you watch it, it has kind of like a white cross beam. And these have probably been painted as well, but yeah, that's the house. That's the staircase. I happen to be a huge fan of the silent movie era, not just the popular people that, well, I guess they're popular, but I'm a fan of a lot of the forgotten people. You know, not just the Charlie Chaplins and W.C. Fields and Laurel and Hardys and those kind of guys, but two of my favorites ever that I really got into by reading about them in books and then seeking out their movies were Francis X. Bushman and John Gilbert. So at some point I will take you to John Gilbert's grave, Francis X. Bushman's grave. I'll take you to the estate that Francis X. Bushman lived on. I actually happen to have a lot of pretty cool artifacts. There was a guy who wrote an everything book on Francis X. Bushman, and at one point he sold a lot of the things he used as research material, like diaries and passports and things like that. He sold a lot of that stuff on eBay, and I got it for really cheap, so I'll show you guys that kind of stuff. Francis X. Bushman was kind of the Gerard Butler or Arnold Schwarzenegger of his day. He was kind of ripped and muscular for that day when nobody else really was, because he did a lot of calisthenics, and he was just a really interesting guy. He was really into gigantic dogs and talked other actors into having them as guard dogs for their property, and he would train them and sell them to them because he was so good with animals. He had a love for animals since he was a kid because his father was a veterinarian. So anyway, we'll get into some of that stuff. That was the old Laurel and Hardy stair steps. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, definitely go watch it. Check out that artwork for that school. I mean, that's just the outside, but you know, not everybody's religious or anything, but still, it's just a very cool painting. Last night, a new TV show aired on MTV called Mary and Jane. And I was in it, and we filmed my scene right here in one of these That restaurant right there, it's called Pine. Alright, I hope you guys dug that trip to the Laurel and Hardy stairs because that was the first time I've been there. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of shopping in the grocery store. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, see. Holy crap! Sometimes I just walk into situations and I'm glad I didn't film it, but oh, good gosh, I went in to eat. First off, me and 3 loud guys in there. I set my food down. Of course, I go up to get some salsa for my salad. They sit down right next to me. Out of all the tables in the whole place, they sit there and they just ramble on and on and on and on. And then a homeless woman comes up and is trying to get a quarter from both of our tables so she can use the bathroom. And I don't have quarters. I don't even have change, so that was never ending. Always an adventure in Hollywood. Just out taking a nighttime stroll and you can see the moon's already out. It's like a beautiful time of the night. Nope, no fires. They always do this when they want to eat lunch, or eat dinner, I mean.